When it comes to civility in the workplace, sometimes I feel like we get caught up in that it's being uber polite and not addressing the issues that we need to address. And the example that always comes to mind for me is I had a probably favorite person to debate with and a good friend to this day, but we were peers. I'm calling her out, Jill Gardner, you know who you are. But we worked in the same area, had very different ways of looking at things and the way that we entered into the work that we did. And so we would go into each other's offices, the door would be closed, and there'd be louder voices and there'd be passionate debate. And then afterwards, we'd go grab lunch and, we figure out what it is that we're going to do and we move on. And I remember I had a team member who said, like, it's just, I want to let you know that it's really hard to hear how much you and Jill fight. And I said, no, we don't fight, we debate. And, we're actually really good friends. And, it's just a healthy discourse, but we're pretty passionate people, so it probably has a little bit of a volume to it. And, I think it was interesting for them to hear that. But when I think of why it was so easy to not have to hold back with Jill, is that we both kind of came to the table of deep respect and reverence for each other. There was never a debate of whether or not we found one another intelligent, or that even the idea that what they were bringing, if we didn't agree with, didn't have some really good substantial backing behind it. So that respect, that reverence, that trust, we were able to just dive in, and there was a nice energy to it. And from that energy, we were able to kind of create things. And there was definitely frictional energy, but it was very civil because we knew that we were debating ideas. We weren't fighting each other. And I just, to this day, I know it made me better at what I do, maybe a better person and maybe smarter. And it's invaluable. And when I get a chance to have that level of safety with somebody, that we can really just go in at the ideas and see what comes out of both of our minds kind of, banging together. I know it's some of my best work. So, the civility of it is not always this polite kind of framed sentences. I think it has to do with creating safe spaces. Thank you, Jill.